Okay. Are we on Facebook now?
Yes.
We are on Facebook. Shalom, Facebookians. Shalom to YouTubians, if there are any on there. This is the Hebrew alphabet class, or Aleph-Bet Ivrit, and this is session number 2. So let's review a bit. First off, this book, this practice, drill, and review for reading Hebrew, this pink kind of color book, is the one we are using. They, of course, are available here. And we have a little blue notebook called a machbaret, which means notebook in Hebrew. And we're going to talk about how to use that. It won't take very long. All right, moving right along. Let us go to Lesson 4, page 7. Last week in Session 1, we covered all of those letters that you see right here: Beit, Vet, Resh, Daled, Shin, Sin, and Tav. And we also covered 3 vowels: a tzere, an A sound, a patak for an ah sound, and a kamatz for a ah sound. The notebook, and if you're not using one, that's okay, but here's how the notebook is set up. There is a space we see here, a nice big space, for our letters, like we have a letter Aleph right there, and here's our Beit Vet, or Bet Vet, right there. And there's a space above and a space below. Those spaces, areas there, are good for your vowels. We will have vowels that are above the letter, and we will have vowels that are below the letter. What I strongly recommend is use the center space and leave a line, leave a blank. So you're writing out a word, like this here is daber, and I put it just here like we see it, and I left that space blank. Yeah, use that in the book. Or if you don't have one of those books and you don't want to spend the $2 on it, or you're not here, go ahead and just use a regular notebook, and the space above, this area here, the line above and the line below, you don't use anymore, they're gone to you, and then skip a line and then carry on. You use up a lot of space, but it's really nice to be able to see everything. Believe me. And don't use a college ruled, one of them real thin ruled. Use a children's notebook, big wide spaces, and a big old notebook pencil, children's pencil. Okay, that clear? So let's go back over let's go over page 7. And we have, if you look at every lesson on the opening page of the lesson, you have this lesson number here, lesson 4, and then there's this review of everything we have previously covered to date, plus whatever new letters there are. So, we covered a bet and a vet. The difference is this little dot. It turns the bet into, or the vet into a bet, the B sound or the V sound. Much later, we'll talk about what that little dot's called and why it's called and what it's about. Right now, we really don't care. Okay, the next letter was a resh. Oh, the bet and the vet are made in this block drawing. You can kind of make a little bit of a rounded top there and draw the line and ensure that the line below touches right there, and that you can have it a square top, make it a little rounded, looks better, put your dot or not. A resh is one continuous movement with your pencil, like so. And this gives us an R sound. A daled, which gives us a D sound, a line, lift your pencil, a line, lift your pencil. This little thing right here is extremely important, because if it fell off, that daled would become a resh. And we will see someday that certain words suddenly change simply by turning a daled into a resh. Make sure you do this very deliberately, and you make your lines very, very deliberate. A shin and a sin or a seen look just like these. It looks sort of like a W kind of a thing. Or you can make it kind of like a rounded bottom and then put that little line there. Oh, that was terrible. Do that. And that is a shin or a sin or a seen. The shin is a sh, sh sound, and the seen or sin is a s sound. All righty. We're on page 7 for all of the newcomers that just walked in the door. Hi. And the tav is, draw the lines like this. Got the little curve there. And then drop a line and give it a tail. Okay, just this is what we're drawing right here. Now the book says there's 2 tavs, one with a dot and one without. For this class, we're just going to ignore the one with the dot until sometime down the road. It's a tav. It has a T sound. It's the last letter of the Aleph-Bet. There is another T sounding letter which we will find as we move through this. Okay? So we're going to backtrack one page to page 6. And in page 6, we can go to the bottom part of the page. Let's see if we can do this. And you'll notice that at the end of every exercise, they give you all of the letters and stuff that we talked about. And the idea is to go along and name each one of these letters. And they're shown in a typical block print that you will find in books and so forth. There are bunches of styles of fonts. Some of them are, well, okay, these are easy to read. It gave us, in this particular case, we've got our vowels across line 5, and it gives us some nonsense syllables, which in this case, these are just single letter syllables and a da. We noticed that if we had a dalid and we added a kamatz, we have a ah sound. So it's a da, a ba, a ra, a sha, va, a sa, not just an S, and so forth. And then lines 7 and 8, we have more nonsense syllable or combinations, nonsense words. And this would be pronounced sha, ba. A shin with a patak or a kamatz is a ah sound, so it's sha, ba. And this is, now instead of 2 syllables, this is only 1. Shab. Shab. So, rava, rav, shara, and so on. Line 9 and 10, words. These are vocabulary words. I recommend review the vocabulary words. Yes.
On line 8, the last one is what?
The last one in line 8 is sauce.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sauce. Just like the stuff you put on your steaks or on your meat. You see, that got meat, all right?
Thank you very much.
All right. Daber. In Hebrew, there is a thing called the 3-letter root. The name of that's a shoresh. Oh, by the way, we have sandwiches back there. Help self. Oh, you guys online? Go make a sandwich. Anyway.
You said Dabir, not Dabir.
I said Daber. What we have actually here is a 3-letter root, the daled, the bet, or vet, and the resh. This root means speak or word. Related words. What we're dealing with today is da bear means speak. From the verb to speak, which is daled beit resh. Okay? This word is pronounced resh, R-A-Y-S-H, and it's an R, it's the letter R, and anyway, that's it, resh. To sit is shave. With or without a razor. We had a discussion earlier about why David didn't shave? Because he didn't have any razors. They didn't have razors back then. Okay, shave means sit, as in, okay, if I tell the dog to sit in Hebrew, he said shave. Meat or flesh is basar. Basar. The two shall become one basar. One basar. They shall be one flesh, one meat. Meat, that's what you're made of. Okay. A darash means explained, and the Dalid Resh Shin is also a root that we'll see somewhere down the road. Broke does not mean you have no money in your pocket. It's broke like in you break something. And that's savar. The number 6 is a shesh. S-H-A-Y-S-H. Shesh. Okay, it looks like a T there, but it isn't. And hail is a barad, and that's the stuff that falls from the sky. Not hail Caesar, that's not it, okay? Hail is what falls from the sky. Now that would cover the previous lesson, but I want to go to page 9. Which now looks at lesson 4's words. Again, if you look at page 9, we got lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are all these the letters by themselves, and then line 5 is all the vowels, and line 6 is single letter syllables. So is line 7. Line 8 is nonsense words made out of 2 syllables, usually. Line 9 and 10, that's where we were headed. So, we're going to incorporate the letter shin, which was on lesson 4. That was stuff we've had before. And we're also going to pick up the tav. So the first word we're dealing with is line 9. First word is shait. Seth is the guy's name, Seth. Well, it really isn't Seth, it's shait in the scriptures. And I explain why the shin gets turned into an S sometimes. That was translation and transliteration. I don't want to say error, but it was close to it. Okay, so that's where they get, and it'd be like sate or set or something like that. Anyway, the SHT or SHYT is shait, the guy's name. And this is the next letter, or the next word is sharate, and that's service like in you do something for somebody. The guy that comes and cuts your lawn, he is the sharate lawn, whatever that is. These are S's, they're sins or scenes. So the word is sas. There's the kamatz right there produces a sound, so it's S-A-S, sauce, which means glad. Our sauce is very glad, especially on steaks. S. Oops. S-A-H. S. That's how to pronounce it. Sauce. Put is a shot with a T at the end. Shot. I look shot put, okay? Whatever. This will definitely be a word you're going to see occasionally. Shabbat. The Shabbat is, here we got a shah, sound, ba sound, and then we throw the T in at the end, Shabbat. For religion is dot, ot, dot. Here's an important word. Bat is a daughter. We already saw that bar is a son, so bat is a daughter. And many, we saw that the word Rav was many, large, multitude. Well, Rabat is a poetic form of the same. Now, I don't remember how that works out, but it's this word right down here. It's Rav, and the bet has turned into a vet. Okay. Ratat, we already talked about basar. End of review. Lesson 5 on page 10. Let's get page 10 up. Okay, page 10 gives us the previous letters that we've had, and we've got the bet, vet, resh, dalet, shin, sin, tav. We keep the same old vowels. We have made no change in vowels yet. And 2 new letters. The L that we see there is called I'm going to spell it out phonetically here. Lamed. Lamed. And this one is a mem. And it's an M sound. L-M. Now, we did have one handout, which I don't have up here right now, where we saw how to draw it. The best way to draw a lamed is in the space, you'll have your 2 lines. I don't know if this will work. You have your 2 lines, and what I do is this. And then I draw the top tag thing, like that. And you might see it sometimes like this, because there's no room up above. Okay? The mem is easy. Start over here a little bit and make like this upside down U thing. Go like so, and then put the little tag on it. One move with a little tag. Lamed, one move, and a tag thingy. Okay? Lamed is an L sound. Mem is a mem sound. And as you look at the page, you will see there is lots of space for you to write about 30 lameds, and then some mems, and then you get to do these exercises, which we're not doing because we don't want to take up the class time. Pretty straightforward and pretty simple. You need to practice those, and then you put a vowel underneath the lamed or the mem, and you make it a la or a lay or a ma or may sound, just like we did with the other letters. Page 11, we've got our mems right there. Then we get to say these nonsense syllables, which are, let's get a little bit of size here, which are la, la, ma, and so on. Practice those. Some of them are going to twist your tongue. And then 8, practice reading those aloud because you're going to need to be able to pronounce them. The worst thing about Hebrew is you're going to do it up here in your head and you're going to get it just right. Then when somebody says, can you read this? And you're going to try and you're not going to be able to get your tongue around that letter and the word. So go ahead and read those things out loud. Talk to your dog. Dogs love to hear stuff like that. They love it. Okay, and moving right along some more. We are flying here. My favorite page is page 12. I don't know what these two guys are doing, this guy and this girl are doing, but anyhow. Let's get page 12 right there. 10, 11, 12. And we have some more of these letters again. We've been doing this. Your lamids and your mems, you can see there. Practice those. Words. This is why we're doing this. Lines, 4 through 10 are all words. The last page we had bot, which was a bot, which is a daughter. Well, now bar is a son. Bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. Okay? Shar is sing. You'll also see those two letters in the word for song, which we'll find it later. Sar is a leader or a prince. Oops. I don't know how to spell, so if I do spelling errors, that's too bad. I'm real good at spelling errors. Honest. The best. Sar, how about the word Sar Shalom? You ever heard that before? Prince of Peace? Excellent. And we have Mar is just the word for Mr. Date, this is the fruit date, not these two kids over here. It's a ta-mar, is the thing you eat. This, on line 5, the first word is shesh, S-A-S-A-H-Y. Shh. Well, wait a minute. That was wrong. See, I told you about the spelling, and you didn't catch me. Sheesh. Sheesh. And we had sit, we know that. We've had set or sate, which is that guy's name. The verb to give is la tate. La, T-A-Y-T. La tate. Service, we saw that was a charate. Okay, here's our daughter. We had daughter and son, so let's tie them together a little bit. All right, daughter and son. We had religion, which is rot. Huh. Wonder if that's like rat. Anyway, shot put. Huh? Oh, dot. Well, see, I can't even spell in Hebrew today. Many is rabat. Shabbat we already have. This is a good word. We need to know that word because we're going to see it an awful lot. We say it every week, Shabbat Shalom. Somewhere in here we're going to have the word Shalom too coming up. Okay, this word Rav also means many. Or multitude, or even great. Great as in a lot of. Not great as in, man, I'm really the greatest, kind of a thing. A lot of, or maybe the guy knows a lot, so he's called great. When Yeshua said, call no man Rav, call no man great, and then he continues on because there's only one greater. So you read that in context and read it in completely. The word for the linen material that garments are made out of is bod. And I'm going to leave it at that. Return, as in come back, is shab. All right, we saw sauce. We saw resh before. Now remember about the bear, where this was a bet, and there was a teray down underneath it, and we said this is the bear. Well, guess what? By making some vowel changes, we turn it into davar, which means thing or word. Thing or word. Yeshua is Davar Elohim, Word of God. Davar Yahweh, He's the Word of Yahweh. Broke, when we break something. Shamar means guarded or observe. We observe the Sabbath. When that scripture that says you shall observe the Sabbath, the word is shamar, meaning observe, guarded, do it. The next word is shamash, shamash, attendant. This can also mean a servant, but not as a servant like a person that, the attendant at the reading of the Torah scroll. There's a person usually standing to one side or the other while the guy reads the scroll. He's there to do several things. Make sure the scroll doesn't fall off the edge of the bima. And also, if there's any words that are missed or mispronounced or something, he's supposed to be able to say those. He's called the shamash, the attendant or the servant. On line 9, lavash is wore, or the verb to wear. It's wore clothes, stuff like that. Another important word is le-vav. The le-vav is your heart. So if we add a prefix, now in your handout with the letters, there's prefixes and suffixes at the end of that, down on the bottom of that page. By simply adding this letter, bet, with, pretty much any certain verbs, we add these two words to it. These things go in hand. So we take the word levav, heart, we add ba to it in the front of it as a prefix, in the heart. The first word in the Torah is Bereshit. The bet is in the. And Reshit is beginning. That's all we did. We just added a prefix. Okay, we said that a lamed is a L, or this here letter. Well, a lamad means study. The verb to study is lamed mem daled. We study our Torah. We study our scriptures. Lamad. Okay. I'll tell you what I want to do here. I am going to take page 12 and put it back up. Oh, come on. Let's try this again. I know nobody else has computer problems. It's just me. Especially when I try to do things with additional stuff like this tablet thingy here. Okay, I want to look at line 10. Ma shal. Here, this first word for Proverbs. Proverbs is called, if you look in a Hebrew Bible, it's called Mishli. Well, mashal is the root of Mishli. Proverbs. Okay, that was easy. Hail. We talked about hail, and that's the stuff that falls from the sky. Darash. When we explain stuff, we are doing a darash. It's also part of the parties method of talking about Scripture, and we'll have to talk about that on Sabbath, I bet. The word speak, we said, was deber. Deber, davar. Do you see the relationship? The two words are the same letters. Don't worry about the vet versus the bet. It's the same letter. So a thing or word, as we saw before, and speak have to be related. Okay? We doing good? That was page 12. Guess where we are now? We're on page, wrong. We're on page 13. So we've got all of our letters that we had before. All right, let's get page 13 up here. Don't save. Lesson 6. Here's all our old letters that we've had. We've had a bet and a vet and a resh and a daled and a shin and a sin or sin and a tav and a mem and a lamed. Now, why Hebrew does this, I don't know. But some letters at the end of a word are different looking than they are in the middle of the word, and mem is one of them. This boxy-looking letter, that's how I make it. You have to make sure you don't make it like this because that's a samic. And it's called a final M or final mem or a mem sophit. You'll hear it called a mem sophit quite a bit. May not ever hear it called final M. Like the one on my hat, see? The word is shalom, and the last letter right there is a mem sophit. And shalom might even be one of our words. What do you know? It is. Okay, the two new vowels. A vav, this is a vav consonant. The consonant can be a vowel. It is then called a vowel consonant. If we put a dot up here, it gives an O sound, like go. If we put a dot right there, we get an oo sound like zoo. Confusing?
Are they longer than
No, they are.
in the line? Within the line.
Oops, use a different color. Okay, they're between that line. That was pretty. That's pretty bad. Okay? Yeah. The dot in the case of this O sound is above the line. Now, for your edification and amazement, this O1, this one, is called a vav im kolam. And the other one is called a vav im sharuk. Okay, you should all be amazed right now. Never mind. I'm not going to write that down because I think it's not that important. When you see it, this word is pronounced with an O sound. This one is pronounced with an oo sound. So we ought to maybe go to the next page. Yeah. Let me see what happens when we do the next page. Page 14. And we'll go like that. Okay, we got a couple of words. Here's a daled and a vavim kolam. Okay, I just said that and I told you I wasn't going to use it, but I'm going to use it. So this says dough. With that kind of a vowel, okay, dough. This is toe. This is show. And low and mo. Now, if we've got some final mems here. If we wrote this out as we see it in English, we might be inclined to write and pronounce this O as a ah sound like dom. That's incorrect in Hebrew. So the guy's name is pronounced Bob. It's not pronounced Bob. Okay? So this is dome. Oh, dome. This is tome. This is shom. Lom, mom. Okay? So when you see this here letter, or this consonant vowel, it's an O, as we speak an O sound, like go. Now the oo sound, is this going to be too confusing to see? This oo sound, this is, I'm going to write it with a U instead of the double O. Okay? This is moo moo. This is one of them silly little dresses the ballerinas wear. Tutu. Let's make this L-U and L-U. Lulu and shoo-shoo. Cool. Okay? Shoo-shoo, Lulu, and so on. So the different, what's going to get us is oo, o. You know how to do this? Practice. How do you get Carnegie Hall? Practice, 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 okay? And that's important for us to be able to do, is to practice these things. Hebrew is easy if you practice. It's really hard if you don't. And we got some more. Now we have here easily one of the best words, and we hear it, we even say it all the time. How would I pronounce that word? Shalom. Remember, that's an O right there. It's not a V. Vav is also a V as a consonant, but this is shalom. Not shalom. I think there's a couple people on the internet that are saying, oh, that's supposed to be pronounced shalom. And if we want to spell it out, Shalom. Final mem or mem sofit, a vav o and a shah. So the word Shabbat Shalom should be written just exactly like, well, maybe not this bad. Shabbat. We'll put a kamatz, shah. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Did you ever, are you going later on or get into the vowels for protect and commit being where they are?
I don't understand.
You have the patak.
Oh, why there's this one and why there's that one?
Yeah, are you going to get into that later or what?
Much later. That's grammar rules. Again, we said last week about grammar. There's weird stuff that happens, and I get to say grammar rules, so then I don't have to explain it. Go to page 15. Page 15 is pretty cool. It gives us all those letters again that we had, and we've got some nonsense words. And there's a couple of strange things that happen here. So let me cover the nonsense words. Okay. Beginning on line 3, this first word is easy to see. L, this is a lamed, a o, may. Now, they didn't put this as a final mem. They just used a plain old mem. This is pronounced lo may. It's just nonsense word. La ma. We're going good here. This is a piece of cake. Show may. And then we have sha ma. Lo ve la va. All right, let's mess with our minds. Ma ro. Ma ro. Got it? You see the ro? Ma ro. Da ro. Sha lo. Now, what Hebrew will do is take a shortcut and take this vav right there and throw it away. And they'll do this with the little dot following the lamed in this case, but they do it in other cases. This is sha lo, just like the one before it. These two words are pronounced exactly the same. Sha lo, sha lo. So you could see shalom like that. Why? Grammar. Makes no sense at all, but they like to throw in stuff like that just to make you feel bad. Oh, that wasn't right. We'll just leave that alone. Okay, Shiloh and Shiloh. And this is Shaleh, which is no big deal. We got that. And this is Baleh. And there should be one more of those wackos in here. No, it's somewhere else. Okay. This word in 5, line 5, first word is Ba-ru. This is a U. Ba-ru. Ma-bu. That's silly. Ma-bu. This is to. And this is Ra. To-Ra. It's not how Torah is spelled, but that's To-Ra. Lom. And lame and Rome. All right, words. So we got to use these rules that we've come up with so far. Let's do this first, line 6.
If you have 2 loams on line 5, loam and loam.
Loam and lame.
Oh, lame. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Moshav. 2 syllables. Mo. Shav. Moshav. Settlement, as in where people live. What did we have on Passover? We had bitter herb. Bitter herb. He gets, my name is Bitter Herb. Okay, anyway, you got to see that joke. It's funny. Ma-roar. 3 letters make up a syllable. Ma-roar. The flood of so-called Noah's flood was a ma-buol. I'm going to write it with the O's. Ma-buol. And at Sukkot, we wave this thing called a lulav. Lulav. And it's a lulav. I mean, it's what it is. So we've got a couple words here that are almost the same. So what we've done is oops, oh, that was not right. What we did is we've got this lamed, an O, a vav, mem daled, lo made, is studies, and lamad is studied, and there's grammar rules involved in that. Well, the shoresh, the root, is lamed mem daled. This O is just a vowel. You can throw it away or keep it. That particular vav with the dot on top. The 3 consonants are this one, and this one. That's your root. These thingies down here can be anything, almost. And this is the same as that. It's just a vowel. It will kind of mess you up because you're looking for the word to study and you're expecting to see a vowel, that lam or that vav in there, and it's not there. Or you see it Well, wait a minute, this isn't the way it's spelled. You're looking a word up, in the scriptures. That's done to confuse you. And it's doing a real good job of it, so just be careful. The vav is a vowel unless it's not a vowel. That was bad. Okay. Now we have two words here. I'm going to get another color. Let's use that color. And they are the same root word. To wear is the verb. So we have a lo vesh or a la vash. Same word. Means either wears or wore. The verb to wear. Okay? Lamed, vet, right here. Lamed, vet, shin. Don't get confused. I recommend something, and maybe is a good time now to do this. There are these little words. The little words are usually two letters, sometimes just one, with a vowel under it, that mess you up because you can't find them in the dictionary. They don't put them in there because you're supposed to know them. They even tell you that in the front of the dictionary. You're supposed to know that. Well, maybe not. Here's a couple of them right here. This sham, meaning there, as in go over there. And a couple others we'll see later, but I know this is one that's kind of going to mess you up. Sham, we've already had puts, that's fine. Dam. Dam means blood. I'll leave that. Okay, dam is blood. Ram is high, as in going up high. And a high place is a marom, a Rome or a ram, a resh mem, but the mem here in the front is, I don't know how this works, but it makes this a high place instead of just high. I went, you go up to our house, you're going to go high because it's up, we live up on a mountain. High place is a place of worship. Not necessarily, you're coming up to my high place. No, I just live up on the mountain. Ram. Okay, and that's the distinguishing characteristic. The direction south is da Rome. Did I say Ram? Rome. Ma Rome. Excuse me. Now here I did it. Ma Rome. Pardon me. Back up a little bit and just ignore that part. All right, good. Ma Rome, and this is da Rome. For south, it's the direction, and we already had Mr. I've never seen Mr. in the Bible. Shabbat. We got that. What it says here, greeting. Shalom is a greeting. Shalom is hello. Shalom is goodbye. Shalom is peace. Shalom is a lot of things. And notice a similar word. Shalom, if we drop that, shalem means whole or restore. The two words are related. So when you say Yahweh grant you shalom, He's going to grant you wholeness, restoration. All right. Whole, we got that. Attendant, we got shamash. We had shamash. Name. A person, what is your name? What is your shame? don't think English, okay? Shame just means word name. Sometimes words sound alike in different languages, and they have nothing close to the same meaning. Doesn't mean shame, it means shame, name. Well, I'm going to end this up here pretty right at this last word, at this last line down here. Your uncle is called Dode. D-O-D. Dode. A generation is called Dor. D-O-R. Dor. Generation to generation is Dor, the door. 2 words. It's important. We'll see it at another time when I get a chance to talk about that. Okay, that guy who doesn't shave, we talked about earlier. His name is, there's a dot right there, David. So your uncle David is called Dode David. Now in the Torah, well actually up until sometime in the AD time frame, and I'm not sure exactly when, they didn't have vowels. Everything was in consonants. So is this Daled Vet Daled or Daled Vav Daled my uncle, or is it David? Context of the sentence tells us it's Uncle David, or it's talking about my father's brother. Okay? It's done, I don't know, it's kind of weird. All right. Pardon me? Yeah. Anyhow, don't worry about David, he's fine. Dode is uncle. Generations are doors. Clear is like it's a clear night out. It's a ba-rur. Ba-rur. The number 3 is a shalosh. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. What's actually inserted right here is that Vav with the dot on the top, but it isn't there. But it is there because that dot that we had way up here, this dot that we had like that, is this dot right here. Okay, it's the O dot plus it's the designator for the shin. Why put 2 dots? Occasionally, I've only seen it just a few times in some books, there'll be 2 dots next to each other in there. Most of the time it's not. So this word is pronounced Sha, L-O, Shalosh, for 3. Is that confusing? Absolutely. What do you think this is? This is Hebrew, not English. You want to get confused? I got a couple of English thingies that'll blow your mind. English is a terrible language.
I like that. You use a dot for 2 things.
Yeah, you can use a dot for whatever you want. But you might see it spelled with this Vav. Okay. Torah, to. Grammatically, this tav, vav means his. It's a suffix added to the end of the word, Torah, and Torah would normally have another letter here at the end, which we'll see later. So Torah is just that. It's Torah, the scroll, like those. And the toe at the end of it it's his Torah. It's a possessive, so it's Torah toe. And it usually refers to Yahweh's Torah, Torah toe. So when he talks about my Torah, he can say Torah toe. It's his. He wrote it. Okay? Torah toe. T-O. Torah toe. Oh, and pronounce it properly. The word really is toe, ra, Torah. We always say Torah. Well, it's really not Torah. It's really Torah. It's just the correct pronunciation. And you don't want to act like a goy amongst the Jews. You know, they're going to look at you and say, trying to fake it. I know you don't know nothing. But then you say Torah, and whoa, they're impressed. Not so. Torah, toe. Torah, toe. Torah, toe. His Torah. Okay? And if this was, I'm not going to go there. You know, we're not doing too bad on time. Do you want to take one more set of letters, 3 letters, or you want to not get messed up? How are we doing, Larry? What do you think? Let's do it. Okay, because you can back the video up when it's on YouTube. This is the advantage of putting this on YouTube. You got it made. All right, we're on page 16. And that puts us in lesson 7. And as you look at lesson 7, you got all the letters you already know and those 2 vowels. Whoa. That was bad. The U vowel and the O vowel. Using a vav as a vav or as a vowel consonant. All right. These letters look alike. I honestly think that the worst thing about this is because they look so much alike, it's real easy with just the flick of a wrist to turn a vav into a final nun. All right. This one is easy to draw like that. Little teeny letter. And it's called a yud. Or a yod. Some people call it a yod, and I don't like yod. I like yud. But if you want to call it yod, you're not wrong. And it is a Y. Remember we had the vav right here. That's a vav. This is a vav. Well, we have another one. And this is an actual consonant. That's a vav. And that vav is a V sound. This sound right here. Okay? That's simple, and they fit in between the lines. This one fits up high on the line. And then this is what a nun looks like. for an N? Well, if it appears at the end of a word, it drops below the line. So it's a vav with a tail, and it's called a nun sophit. Remember, this U is pronounced U, nun sophit. Okay, nun sophit. And on page 16, there's exercises, nothing fancy. So I want to go to, I'm going to do the bottom of the page here. We have some yuds used. So this is a Y sound. So this is a ya with the kamats. This becomes ya, and then the dalet at the end of it is a yad. Yad. That's a yad, your hand. I don't know if yesh is an actual word, but there's a yesh right there. Yesh. Yom. Remember we had an mem sophit. There's a mem sophit. An O sound with the yud. It's yom, and that means day. I bet you're going to see yom a lot. Yep. I just bet you. Going to page 17, there's a couple other, hi puppy. Let's go down to okay, really do the exercises on 16 and 17. The vav. Okay, here in number 9, you got a yud. Oops, let's use another color. Let's make this gray. A yud, vav, nun sophit, and they all look so much alike. And just seeing them written out, scribbled on a piece of paper or something, you're going to mistake a yud and a vav quite a bit. It's what happens. So if we had these words down here in number 11, and we took this bet, this would be a bay sound, and we added the nun or the n sound, this is pronounced bain, B-A-Y-N, bain. And there's Shane, that's the nun, and this is Tain. Okay? You may have to go back over that a couple times. If you were to just write this stuff out, there's a vav, or this is a yud, this is a vav, nun sophit, and we were to put a kamatz under the yud and a kamatz under the vav, we have Yahvain. Or Yavan, excuse me. Yeah, that's Yavan, and that's this word for Greek. So if we saw could that be, this is a number 6, so Vav is a 6. Could this look like 666? I don't know. Go to page 18 and let's talk about all this other good stuff we just talked about a lot. Here we have in line 1 the yuds and the vavs. Yea, yah, yah, yea. Okay, yea, yah, yah, yea. That was easy. You. Just, this is you. You. This is another yah. This is yo. It's another yah. That's a yo. And that's another you. As you look through the Torah, or anything written in Hebrew, you are going to see a vav as a prefix a lot. A vav as a prefix means and. You ever read Paul's writings? The first word in the sentence is and, therefore, for, but, because of, or something like that. You know what he's doing? He's writing Hebrew. He never wrote Greek. There's no evidence he ever wrote Greek. And if he wrote Hebrew in the normal Hebrew style, which he was very familiar with, he would have wrote a vav at the beginning of just about every sentence he ever wrote. And then so on and so forth. It's just the way it is. We're already reading in Leviticus, and it says, Vayad deber, va, and he said to Moses, and, well, why do you need the and? Because that's Hebrew. So in line 2, we have the vav could be pronounced with a ve, there's a ve, or a va again. This is vu. This is vo. There's another va. This is vo, vu. You'll also see that as the first word or first letter in some sentences, especially if it has the next letter is a mem. It's because your mouth can't say vam as easy as it can say I guess. And that means this means and. Ooh. Okay? We will see that because I really want to get us done with the alphabet and reading words. All right, line 3. This is easy. Shan, there we have a nun sofit. Let's draw the line. We have the nun sofit, so that's shan, shane, van. This is a V. Oops. Boy, that was terrible. That's a V and that's a V, so this is van, shone, and loan. I'm going to do 5 more minutes. Okay. We got our words again with let's line 6. This is yo raid. Yo raid. Goes down. Ya rod. That's one syllable. Here's the other one. Ya rod went down. So all we did is we added another vowel. We put a vowel in the middle there, so this vav doesn't really get exciting. It's the same word. It's yud, resh, daled. An heir, as in person that is in the will, is a yo, resh. Yo, resh, and to inherit is ya rash. Yud resh shin. Yud resh shin. Throw away the vowels. It has to do with inheritance. And more is yo tear. The sea, ocean, yam, yam suf. Yes, what's that? Red Sea, yam. But if we put a yo or an o in there, we got the word for day, yom. So Yom Kippur, we heard that before. How about Yom Tov, good day? It's a good day. And if we add this prefix, a ba, which means in or on the, yom, we have ba yom, on the day. Little word, bing, 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 bing. Yesh means there is. And this means between, it's bain. And your house is a beit or a bet, which might mean that's what the letter bet stands for, is house, maybe. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's good. A beit Knesset is a house of meeting. A synagogue is called a beit Knesset. Knesset means meeting. Yo shave. Yo shave is sits or to sit, and sat is the same thing. It's a ya shav. So the verb to sit is yud shin that. Guess what? Hebrew verbs are action verbs. Hebrew's an action language. You do not live in the house. The word they use is sit. You sit in the house. And it isn't that you're just sitting there with nothing to do. You are sitting constantly. Moment to moment to moment, you are action. The action might be just to sit there, but it's still an action. A will return is yashuv. All right, this I've never seen this word in the Bible, so it's Torah. A hook is a vav. I wonder if vav means hook. If the letter vav means hook. You suppose it might mean that? It does. Anyway, vav is spelled that way. Old is, let me get another color. Old is Yashan. Yashan. straight or honest. Yashar. And sleep, the verb to sleep is yashen. Yud, shin, nun is it. Tooth, this is what Dr. Pratt works on, is the shanes. Shane, see it? Shane. And I haven't seen the word hotel found in Scripture, but ma, loan, there might be one. I don't know. A judge on line 10. Dayan. To judge is deen, which is spelled Dalid Yun Yud Nun. So a judge is judgment, is deen. Same thing. Oops, too much of that. All right. Dayan is the person that's a judge, and he performs a deen, which is a judgment. Gift, matan. Matan is a gift. Meaning is move on. Language is lashon. Does that sound familiar? Lashon also means tongue. How do you spell tongue? T-O-U? Tongue. All right. Yad is hand. Your hand. Here's a freebie. We've already Yesh. You haven't had this letter yet, but it's right here. Yesh li. There is to me, is what this means. Yesh li means there is to me, but it is I have. I have this or I have that, and that has to do with a couple of the words that we saw, some of the little words. There's yesh, and we haven't had li anyway yet. So there is to me, yesh li. I have a mouse. And we have gone over a few minutes, longer than I expected. So, Avenu Melkenu, our Father, our King, we thank you for your Lashon Kodesh, your set-apart language. Be with us as we go and study your language. In Yeshua's name, amen. We did it. Yay!